Hello, I'm Pamela Wu. This is the Comcast Salute to Asian Pacific Heritage Month. And joining us today is Ted Lieu, State Assembly Member for the 53rd District in Southern California and also candidate for Attorney General. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
Well, the API community has made, of course, tremendous strides and contributions in our lifetime. What are some of the major milestones that mean a lot to you?
And before I answer that, let me first thank Comcast and you for doing this and for highlighting Asian Pacific American Heritage Month. It is very important, and really it's a celebration of not only APA culture, but also of America. And in terms of major milestones, I think it's important that, for instance, we had the Chinese Exclusion Act reversed, that we had voting available for all Asian Pacific Americans, that we had the Supreme Court recognize the Japanese American internment was wrong. And now we're seeing the political maturation of the APA community. The Los Angeles Times reported that last election cycle, Asian American voter turnout increased by about 39%. And now for the first time, we have a lot of federal appointed officials, 3 Asian Americans in the cabinet of the president.
Those certainly are tremendous achievements. Of course, the API community is still facing a number of challenges. What challenges do you see?
Well, despite the increased voter turnout, there is still a low voter registration among Asian Americans. But once you get APAs registered, they actually have a higher turnout. And part of it is to have the community understand how important government is, both the good things government can do to you and the bad things if you don't have people voting. So turnout and voting is an obstacle that is improving. The second is having more Asian Americans in leadership positions. If you look at our Fortune 500 companies, if you look at law firms, they're underrepresented in terms of partners, corporate board of directors, in media. There's not a lot of folks like you, for instance, and so to the extent we can get more Asian Americans at all levels of society, it would help break the glass ceiling.
What are some of the solutions then for this, what you describe as sort of a multifaceted problem? What are the solutions in terms of, say, programs or organizations that exist that are addressing these challenges to help to move the community forward?
Well, I think it's helpful to have role models for Asian Americans to follow. I think it's helpful to get Asian Americans who are in leadership positions and to have a pool of people that can compete for those leadership positions. So I was chair of the Asian Pacific Islander Legislative Caucus for 2 years. I'm termed out now, but one of my goals was to elect more Asian Pacific Islander elected officials, and we accomplished that. We now have 11 state legislators of API descent, the highest in California history. In 1990, we had 0. In terms of state judgeships, we did increase the number of minorities in women from 16% to about 30% in terms of the governor's appointment rate, because if you want our third branch of government, the judiciary, to be respected by the people of California, it's got to look somewhat like the people of California.
All right, so of course role models set the tone, as you said, and the API community has many influential leaders, yourself included. Who are the leaders in your community that you look up to and maybe have influenced you and inspired you in your career?
I would not be here without former Assembly Member George Nakano. He was my mentor. He helped me when I ran for Torrance City Council. He helped me get onto a Torrance City Commission, and so he was probably the first APA mentor I had. John Chung is another role model. He really did an amazing thing when he won state controller statewide. There's really only one office that requires more votes than a statewide race, and that's President of the United States. And for John Chung to be a statewide official in California is a remarkable achievement.
He has inspired a lot of people. Looking to the future quickly, what message do you want to send the API future leaders in the community?
That participate. If you don't participate in a government of limited resources, government will just pass you by. And so one of my jobs, I view, is to yell and scream on behalf of really all the voiceless minorities and voiceless groups and try to give them a voice in government.
All right, a move for civic engagement. Thank you very much, Ted Lieu, Assembly Member for the 53rd District and candidate for Attorney General. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
This has been the Comcast Salute to Asian Pacific Heritage Month.